Welcome to the Other Mike and Mike show where shoulder dipping is mandatory.
The shoulder dips, the shoulder dips, the shoulder dips, the shoulder dips. The shoulder dips, the shoulder dips, the shoulder dips, the shoulder dip.
Listen to me, Mike. Your self-esteem is low right now.
The shoulder dips, the shoulder dips, the shoulder dips, the shoulder dips.
Do you know how stupid that sounds?
The shoulder dips, the shoulder dips, the shoulder dips, the shoulder dips.
Mike. What day is it, Mike?
What day is it? It's time for the Other Mike and Mike show. I'm Mike W.
And I am Mike T.
It's episode 11. I almost said I am Mike T.
Everybody wants to be me.
That stands for thirsty. I'm drinking this morning. It's unbelievable. It's not even morning anymore.
No, it's not. It's about 1 o'clock in the afternoon. But hey, it is what it is.
It's all good. I'll tell you, I'm a little hammered. And I'm going to be a lot hammered today. My wife, bless her soul, just sent me a message. Let me watch it downstairs. What do we do without smartphones? Getting texts.
I get texts from the next room sometimes.
That's what this is.
Yeah.
Not even a knock on the door. Just like, I don't feel like walking up the stairs.
Yep.
I'm bored. You mind if I go out instead of you going out today? I was like, yeah, I want 2 fucking tall boys and a pint of gin. And she goes, they didn't have the gin last time, the gin I like. I said, better yet, just give me a pint of whiskey.
Right.
Anything else? Nope.
If we didn't have cell phones, we might actually have to talk to people. And who wants to do that?
Not me. I just want more booze. I polished off. I was just telling you, I polished off a bottle of B&B, which is Benedine and brandy, and I'm having Benedine and brandy and Cheez-Its. Going to get more white trash on this Saturday? I think not.
No, I think not. But I think it's going to be excellent.
But I feel good. We got a great show today. We're going to talk rape, Thanksgiving, weird news, and some Ween. Those are the 4 greatest topics. Rape, Ween, Thanksgiving. Put them in order. 1 to 4. You can't.
Can't. I don't think I can.
Oh, my God. So it's been, we just got done recording episode 12, so I'm trying to shake that off. It's weird. I hate going not in order, man. I feel like Quantum Leap. You know, when you're going from one show to the next, and it's like, we did this the last time when I went away. It's like all over the place. But it was fun. I got to talk to Teabaggins, so that should be good next week.
Yeah, I mean, besides hearing like he's rocking in a rocker made in the 20s.
Dude, he was like in a rowboat or something.
I don't know what was going on. Seriously, it sounded like he was jogging and like he had a microphone attached to like a shirt, and it was just bouncing up and down, bouncing up and down. I've never heard anything like it.
Yeah, it was very, very strange.
It was.
And he said it was his headphones, but I don't know about that. He was clickety-clacking a Chinese chicken.
Yeah, I mean, it sounded like
trash.
Someone making noise. It sounded like somebody, you know.
I'm sure we'll get people like, dude, buy that guy some headphones.
Yeah, for sure.
Or at least get him some headphones before he comes back on Kodo when we launch that again. For those who don't know, KodoMMA.com, my MMA show, which someday is coming back. It's on hiatus just because nobody has any fucking time and we're revamping the show. But anyway, Mike and Mike show taking off. Thank you for all the listeners. It's a lot of fun, man. I've been having fun doing it now that we've passed the first 10.
Yeah, no, same here. I find myself, which is a good thing. I find myself looking forward to it weekly, right?
I look forward to your pictures.
Oh, well, thank you.
The pictures are amazing, man. I look forward to that. Those pictures, the woman putting the bottle up her chach. You put a picture up, she was like smuggling some kind of fucking gin or something up her crotch.
Yeah, that was actually a crazy, weird news story. It was a girl that got caught stealing liquor at a liquor store by sticking it up her snatch.
How big is your chach that you can put some liquor bottles up there?
I don't know, but the thing is that her little kid was right next to her too. Like it's probably a story that we probably should have talked about.
He probably got a Core Light nip up his rectum. If she was smart, man, you got to use your resources.
Right, for sure. But the little kid just looking at her in awe too. He's just like, what?
Put a nip or something up his rectum, right?
Hey,
a smeared off nip probably fit up his ass.
What is my mother doing?
Let me try. I learned it by watching you. I got a half pint of Laird's in my diaper.
Yeah, I do my best with with those pictures. I look forward to posting them sometimes.
Yeah, pictures are great. Pictures are awesome.
Right, it's Shoulder Dip Saturday, so they'll probably get one today too later this evening.
I love the one that you put up. Me and Epcot was outrageously good too.
It was great. It was great. It was a great picture.
So we got a lot to talk about this week. Things we're going to be thankful for. I will tell you, there's a couple things that I'm not thankful for. First of all, Ace Frehley's on tour. I know that you're not a big Kiss fan, but Ace was one of the original members of Kiss. I've seen his solo performances before, and I saw some of my boys were up in Mohegan Sun yesterday watching him play. And they were telling me how good it was. And I was going to go. You know, he's playing B.B. King's Monday and Tuesday. Here's my question. And maybe I'm old. You'll tell me. You're a little younger than me. Is it bad that I'm like, I can't go see a show on a school night?
No, it's not a bad thing.
Right?
Even now at my age, I'll be 35 this December. And a couple times a year during like a football season, a friend of mine will go to like the local place here and we'll go watch football, right? And we'll have a couple beers, we'll eat, and we'll eat some wings. Even after a few beers, like I'm home at like, after the game, right? Like we'll watch like the post game stuff till like midnight or whatever it is, and then I'll come home or 12:30 or whatever. I feel terrible the next day.
Yeah.
And like I didn't sit there and drink like a case of beer. You know what I mean? I just had a few beers, some wings. I came home and I feel terrible all day long. I'm not like hungover. I'm just tired. I'm run down. I'm not a big fan of doing things during the weekday.
But I got to go to work, and like I have something to do. Like he's playing Monday and Tuesday night at B.B. King's. Monday, real quick shout out. I lost a coworker, Claire. She was awesome too. This girl was a sweetheart. I was just talking to her. It was sudden. Not going to get into what it was. She had no problems. She had some complications from a minor procedure. It's scary, but 29 years old, and it just makes you sit there and scratch your head like, what the fuck?
Right.
How does this shit happen? So we're having like you do a little remembering thing and all this stuff. It just, there's no time. It's like that. I got shit to do on Monday, and then on Tuesday, do I go out? How do you go to a show and not shoulder dip? Because if I go Tuesday, I got to go and do something in the morning for work, and it's like, how do I do it? You're there, you're hammered. You're still going to be hammered.
Oh, for sure.
And it's like, I got to be on point. I mean, I have to be on point. And it's just, it's disappointing. And I was going to go tonight, believe it or not, and my wife don't want to go. And we've seen him before, and she's just like, I just saw Kiss again. It's just, meh. Do I really want to go all the way down to Atlantic City to watch Ace Frehley, who looks like the Cowardly Lion at this point? But my boys said it was great. They both said it was a good time, and I'm sure it was. I don't know. I'm getting old, man. I'm getting old and fucking cranky. I'm drinking today, too, so.
Where did he play at?
He was at Mohegan Sun last night. He's at Borgata tonight.
Okay.
And he's at B.B. King's, which is not far from me. I mean, literally, I just take a bus or like watch it on the way home, walk home on the way home from work and just go. The problem is I can't change. I got all my shit from work. I'm not going to go home and then come back to the city.
That's a disaster.
It is, and I have to be on point. So I'm going to go there with a bunch of knuckleheads in my dress clothes, or bring a bag, and they're a pain in the ass. I got to check the bag. It's just I have a lot of shit when sometimes I go to work.
Right.
I'm old and cranky, dude.
Yeah, it's fine. There's
I'd like to see it. I just need a day off afterwards. It's just that's how it is.
Right.
But besides that, I'm missing that. I'm mad as hell that I'm not in Vegas today. Even yesterday, when all the shit went down, I was still looking at flights. I was thinking about going out last minute. My boy JB, John Beckett's out there. All these Kiss Cruise Maniacs are out there. Wife gave the green light. And I didn't go. And I just, the price of a ticket out there, even though I'm not even talking about a ticket to see Kiss, because that's secondary. To me, Kiss is always secondary. The bands are always secondary to people. I just want to hang out with the people. I don't get to see them. They're all from all over different parts of the country. John's from Calgary. So to me, it's just hanging out. You know how that goes. I'd rather go there, just slam a couple. I don't even care if I see the band, honestly.
For sure.
And I just, I couldn't swing it. And it's driving me nuts. That's why, I don't know if you saw my personal Facebook post, that I'm looking to move. I live in Hoboken. Dude, I pay so much. Somebody gave me a hard time. This is why I got annoyed. Somebody gave me a hard time. It's like, dude, you probably make more in a day than I make in like 2 weeks. I said, okay, but, you don't have kids. You don't live in Hoboken. I live in Hoboken, so I don't want to get shot.
Right.
But I do. I'm rent poor. I pay too much in rent, and just the thought of spending more money on even the airplane ticket, then, it's just not the airline ticket. It costs, what, $4 or $5 bills to get to the other coast, and that's flying coach, and for me, that's like blasphemy. I got to sit next to somebody, and they got to eat my lat fat for 5.5, 6 hours, which is a disaster for both of us. Right? I'm not buying 2 seats.
No, for sure not.
Right, and it's just, it's a lot, man. It's just like, it's a lot of money. You go out there, your bar tab's going to be probably the same, if not more, than the airline ticket.
Right.
You're drinking out in Vegas. Last time I went to Vegas, I could have bought a Prius for what I spent in a weekend. No, I mean, we're laughing, but I put that up. You go to like the pool bar at the Sapphire Club and you get 19-year-olds putting titties in your face, dude, the money flies out of your pocket like you're P. Diddy.
There's no doubt about it, right?
And if you go to Vegas and don't go there, like for all the people like, oh, gotta go see Kiss. I give a fuck about Kiss. I go out there, I want to see titties. I want to see titties, booze, and blackjack. That's it. Fuck Kiss. I wouldn't even go see Kiss. I don't give a fuck. Oh, it's Kiss. Go fuck yourself.
Vegas, baby.
It's Vegas. Fuck Kiss. Vegas. I mean, listen. I love the band, but no band. I could care less at this point. People get so into it where all they care about is the band. I care about the people. I want to hang out with people. Titties. Maybe some MMA. I wouldn't miss the UFC if they were out there.
They are, right? Like soon, right?
Soon.
I think back out there again.
They're out there December 6th, but I got to plan that in advance. That's got to be a 4-dayer. If I'm flying across the country, I'm like moving. I equal this to, and you got to see not only the humor but the realism in this. I look at this as if I'm Secretariat, right? There's a reason why there's like 6 weeks between the Triple Crown. You got to crate me. You got to put me on the plane. I gotta get acclimated to my surroundings for like a couple days. Then I do what I do. I run the race. Then I need a couple more days to acclimate. Then you put me back in the crate and you fly me back across the country. You know what I mean? It's not just hop on a plane. You're there for like Chuck. Chuck comes out here like on a Saturday morning, parties, stays up all night. He'll fly back to Dallas. I don't know how he does it. He should write a book. I can't do it.
For sure. I don't know if I could do that or not, to be perfectly honest with you. I mean that's asking a lot.
It's asking more than a lot as I drink more of my brandy. It's asking a tremendous amount. And people are like, well, can't you afford it? Like, no, not always, man. I got to pick my spots.
Right, for sure. Same here.
I'm not Rockefeller. Yeah, do I make a lot of money? Shit, yeah. I make more than most. But once I move, like if I move to Jersey City Heights, a lot of my friends have moved out of Hoboken. And I pay a fortune in rent. I mean, I pay upwards about $3,000 a month in rent for like a 950 square foot apartment.
Crazy.
It's insane, but I had a 600 square foot apartment. I told you this, sold it. Didn't make any money on it. I took a bath on it, but it needed a lot of work. I couldn't breathe without the walls cracking and pictures flying off. The occupancy from Hoboken Police was 4, and I couldn't have anybody over. Anyway, everybody's all over you. So I tried to take at least give me some space. I have 2 floors here. I can go hide upstairs, but it's still tiny. It's like I can't have friends come and crash. Like I got John coming from Calgary to crash for my holiday party, and I've offered up room to Ninja Turtles if he wants to crash. I got like a maximum of 6. Otherwise, it's weird, and I have nowhere for you to stay. I only own a love seat. I don't own a couch.
Right.
And I'm not a guy that has stuff, but I like to go on vacation. I go to Disney a couple times a year. I take my trip with my wife, and I probably break even. And I do make a good amount of scratch. I'm not going to complain about my salary at all, but it's gone. And here's a shitty thing. I get paid once a month. That's 12 checks a year. So that's a disaster.
That is a disaster.
So I got to budget properly. I got a lot of overhead.
That's terrible.
I have 2 grown boys that eat more than I do. They got to get on a treadmill. And I got the wife. The wife don't work. It's just like she's always doing something that's costing money. Every time they breathe, it costs me money. You know what I mean? I got like the fucking debt ticker in my bedroom. And I do the formula. Is it cheaper just to get a fucking studio in Williamsburg and cut losses? But I'm not going to complain. Life is good. It's just I can't do it. People just like, and it drives me crazy sometimes because I see some of these knuckleheads that I'm just like, look at this fucking clown,
right,
flying all over the place. And if I stop doing all the fucking, if I just stopped and saved for 6 months, I could probably buy his soul. Like if I just stopped my train, like at Newark, and like, listen, we're gonna fucking rehab the train for 6 months. Nobody can ride the train. Then I could do it. But it's just I see people just I don't know where they're gonna get the fuck you money from. I need somebody to die.
I know. I need fuck you money. I would love to have some fuck you money.
Yeah, you know how I get fuck you money? I'm moving to Jersey City Heights.
Yeah,
I'll get a better gun, and I won't carry any cash on me.
Yeah,
and hope the guy I don't get killed. And if I get killed, I have $1 million insurance policy, and my wife will be rich.
Yeah,
so if I get killed, do me a favor, fucking investigate her, because she paid some fucking blood or crip to knock me off at the train station, and then she's gonna move back to Hoboken or Manhattan. Watch, I'm planning it out now. That cunt.
If she moves back to something like Manhattan or like Hoboken, then I'll put out then I'll hire someone to invest.
She's smart. She's not gonna do it the first day.
Right.
She's not dumb. She'll wait. She's not in no rush. You just watch her. But yeah, it's bummed me out. I should have went out there. I should have hung out with JB. Thank God he's coming out here. I mean, it's a long way. I'm actually thinking about planning like a long weekend out in his neck of the woods, maybe in the spring. Going out to the Calgary port. I can't go there now. There's way too much fucking snow and ice and like moose dick. I can't handle that now. But
Yeah, you don't go there this time of year.
no,
not at all.
it's like the day after tomorrow out there. It's like Buffalo. You see Buffalo with 7 feet of snow.
Buffalo's a mess. They canceled the football game.
They canceled the Ranger game last night.
Oh, did they?
Yeah, disaster.
Yeah, they moved the football game to Detroit on Monday night.
Which is great for the people of Detroit, because what else you got to do besides rob and pillage?
Right, for sure. Detroit is awful.
Awful.
The only thing it has left is a stadium. Is a football team and does it have a basketball team still? The Pistons, right?
It's the Pistons, but does anybody go? No, you can't go there without getting shot.
Yeah, that's true.
It's bankrupt. I always said if the world needed an enema, Detroit's where God's put the two, but God's too afraid to go there because he doesn't have Kevlar on.
Right.
They'll set him on fire on in a stool in the middle of the street.
Yeah, it's in a bad way.
But yeah, I didn't go to Vegas, and I'm a little bummed. But I will plan a Vegas trip, hopefully with my boys. And I don't give a fuck what band's out there. And the people that are out there now, and they're doing the kumbaya because the band's there and they're taking photos with the band. Good. I'm glad they're having a good time. I have nothing. I love those guys. So I love the rock and roll family. I'm like that kid that just comes on and hangs out, and I like to have a good time, I like to be loud and hammered. But like they name people like I just saw John Doe in the casino. I'm like, who the fuck is that? You know what I mean? And they talk about the guy who runs the Kiss Online. I couldn't pick him up out of a lineup. I could care less. I don't buy any of the shit. I don't want any of the collectibles. I don't collect stuff. The few picks I got were cool because they're personal. JB gave me a pick that he created with his head on it from the cruise. I'll collect that. That means more to me because somebody came to me and said, this guy Jim Irwin made picks, and he gave me a set. That shit's cool. You know what I mean? That means something. I'm not going out and giving Gene more money because I'm going to have what? A fucking bobblehead doll or another dopey T-shirt. I mean, I have a couple Kiss shirts. That's enough. I'm not going. You know what I mean? So I'm bummed that I'm not seeing those guys. And I saw the hashtag "Where is Mike Whittles?" and missing my boy out here, and that bums me out because I should be out there. You only live life once, but at the same time, I'd be going out there, and I'd be the guy. I'd be like, "Why is Mike at Sapphire? We're all going to see Kiss tonight because titties trump Gene Simmons."
And sometimes you got to pick and choose your battles too, right? Like, sometimes it's like, okay, well, I can't make it out here this time, but you make up for it the next time. It's no big deal.
Exactly right. My whole vision is I move like sometime in the first half of 2015,
right,
and start saving $1,200 a month. Where the rent is more reasonable. Maybe get myself a car again. That's a big maybe, depending on where I move. And then all of a sudden, you have another $800-900 throwaway money.
Right.
I can make it rain a little bit more when we're away.
Right.
And I can go. I can go to more places and stuff. So, and I have to keep a window open because if my pal George the Silencer Sullivan fights in Vegas, I want to go.
Absolutely.
Right. So I hope those guys had a good time out there in Vegas. They played the Kiss mini golf. The problem is you don't realize what Vegas is until you're out there with me, because I'm going to bypass the shitty hotel. I'm going to, Daddy Diva's staying at a suite Bellagio.
Right.
And I'm getting a half moon booth bottle service at Sapphire Club with lap dances from beautiful 19-year-old Russian girls. And I'm probably going to get a hand job at Glitter Gulch and get thrown out at 2 in the afternoon wearing black jeans, singing to myself, what if I were Romeo in black jeans, little Michael Penn. Showering back up and then playing like one deck blackjack at Golden Nugget for like 4 or 5 hours while I'm sitting there sipping SoCo. Doesn't get much better, my friend.
No, it doesn't really.
And if you win, like if you say you're going to run and you win like 2 G's, we're all getting a private limo and we're going up to the cat house. And we're sitting in a hot tub and we're going to have beautiful models bang us. What happens in Vegas stays in Vegas.
All day.
When the video of the girl on my shoulders, topless, with my baseball cap on, as I'm swinging back and forth to a Kansas City in the Sunshine Band, and the titties are going one way as I'm going the other way, priceless. We'll have to play that in a future episode. So, moving forward, one thing that I don't like that happens a lot out in Vegas?
What's that?
Rape.
Ladies, rape me. Rape me, my friend. Come on, rape me. Rape me again.
I'm not the only one that loves Richard Cheese, right?
You are not the only one. I love Richard Cheese.
Richard Cheese is amazing.
He's not, I'm not the only one. Hate me.
If you rape a girl and she doesn't scream, does it count? Oh my God! Did I just say that? Listen, rape is not fun. I was like, why are you laughing, dude? Don't be a dick. Don't be a fucking dick.
Do it and do it again. Waste me. Taste me, my friend.
God, I'd love to taste it. Listen, rape is not funny.
No.
Why are you laughing? You're such a
man.
filthy scumbag.
It's not a joking matter.
Dude, you're such a scumbag.
I'm not a scumbag.
No, rape is not funny at all. Rape is terrible.
No, it's not. Even when a comedian does it.
Right, it's terrible. Even when comedians, even when icons do it, it is not correct.
Right.
Oh my God! Even if you beat her enough and you tell the police, I'll kill you and your family, and she says it didn't happen, and it did happen, it's still wrong.
Correct.
Rape is terrible.
It's terrible.
You're terrible. You're terrible for making me laugh.
I'm not terrible. I think that you're the one that made me laugh. I blame you. I blame you and Richard Cheese.
So if it usually doesn't happen in Vegas, because usually you can throw enough money at any problem in Vegas and it stays in Vegas.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think the rape count in Vegas is probably very high because normally people go there. They go there to bang and drink and gamble.
Yeah, but when you're like forcing somebody into the room, bang them, and they're just like, listen, here's a black chip. It's on the nightstand. Get the fuck out. That gets a little shady.
That is shady.
Not to say that ever happened to me. I'm just saying that if it did, it's a little dicey.
Right. That is dicey. And they, could, come out 10 years later and say that Mike W. raped me.
No, that's not true. Because when I go out there, I have an alias, and I tell them that I'm a retired lineman from the Arizona Cardinals. That's another story for another show.
Yeah, for
I
sure.
have a whole separate ID and shit when I go out there, dude. I'm no joke. I don't play in Vegas. I also don't go out there to see aging rock stars.
Yeah.
I go there for three things: booze, titties. And then I go for titties, booze, and titties.
And blackjack.
And sprinkle in a little blackjack.
Yeah.
Nothing like playing some baccarat where you're getting a hand job by an 18-year-old Asian hooker.
There's nothing like it.
And you can't do that on the Strip, really. You go to Fremont Street for that.
Yeah.
At the Riviera, they don't care less. You can get gummed. You can have a girl between your legs, gumming it. While you're like, Sarah, would you like to hit? Oh, hold on a second. Give me a fucking second here. Yes, I'll take a card. Jesus Christ. And you slap her in the fucking, give her cauliflower ear. Come on, ping pong. Let's go. I'm playing some cards here.
This episode has escalated quickly.
So speaking of rape, Bill Cosby. All this shit's coming out about Bill Cosby. Now, I did a show years ago, Clown Table, where we talked about this, and I couldn't understand why these allegations were coming to light and nobody was doing shit. Because it was Bill Cosby?
Right.
I mean, this has been going on for years. Why all of a sudden it's got some traction now, I don't know. I know there was a comedian that said some shit, said to Google it. People Googled it, and now maybe because the internet has taken off years later, it's got traction now. But it's just strange that all of a sudden this rape bomb is coming out of nowhere. He's like 100 years old. The only way he's getting an erection and keeping it up is if he eats 2 Jell-O pudding pops. And he takes the pop sticks, puts it around his cock, and puts some electrical tape around it to keep that fucker hard.
Right. It's things like that baffle me. You're right. Like when people come out, I mean, it's so many years later, like when it first happened, when it was first alleged to happen, and it got swept under the rug and never talked about. And now, as you said, the guy is what, 83?
Yeah.
Yeah. It doesn't excuse him if he did do it. I'm just saying that it doesn't make much sense coming forward all these years later. You would think that if the objective was to ruin the guy's career, you would have come out when he had a career, right?
You would think.
But then, because now it's just like, it's
ridiculous.
It's whatever now. The guy's 83. He might not live to 85. Who knows? But it just.
But why now?
But why now?
It's like with Joe Paterno. He 5 months before the guy dies, like everybody's getting ass raped on your campus, and you knew about it. Dead.
Right, Jerry Sandusky. Right.
Jerry Sandusky was blowing DNA all over the backs of every child that came across that campus.
Right. Well, it's even things in like priests, like Catholic priests. Like, why do people come forward when they're 30 years old? Right. Like, do they suddenly like have a flashback of it and they're all fucked up? Or
Yeah, I think that you finally be able to be intimate with a woman and you can't get an erection and Cialis and Viagra cocktail don't work and you finally realize the demon is that you received Holy Communion. You thought Holy Communion meant you put a wafer on a man's penis and the man rammed it up your ass.
fair enough.
And that's not Holy Communion. And no matter how many fucking Hail Marys you say, it's not going to get the vision of a guy putting his dick up your ass.
Right. Or in Bill Cosby's case, it was a Jello pudding pop.
Exactly. It was he shot the flism flasm all over the ample ass of dapples.
Even Family Guy accused him years ago, right?
You have that clip, don't you?
Yeah.
Let me hear it.
Tape with me and Bill Cosby.
Now you will get ready for the zim-zam and the babbity-bibbity, and you will take off your clothes like voo and vroom, and get ready for the most splendiferous pudding pop you have ever seen.
It's just, it's just strange, when you have shows making sexual deviants out of a long time
Dude,
ago.
it's amazing. The memes, I sent you the meme. Oh, she said no. I thought she said Jello.
Yeah, it's amazing. Like the jokes that you can make about it are.
I live for two things: pudding pops and rape. Oh.
I mean, by no stretch of the imagination are we sitting here and taking rape as a light topic, ladies and gentlemen.
No, they should throw him in jail if he's wrong. Fucking
Right,
bring
correct.
the charges, though. Bring the charges up and
Right.
drag his ass through the mud. I don't care if he's. And people are like, I had a friend of mine who's African American. He was like, dude, that's fucking racist. Why?
Yeah, why is it racist?
Why? He's a rapist. Or
Yeah.
if he listen, he's innocent until proven guilty. But if he's guilty, let him go to fucking court.
Right. Because
I don't
there's
get
not like a lot of just the allegations are really the only thing that's going on, right? Because Bill Cosby's not saying a thing. He's quiet as a mouse. Nobody else is really saying anything other than the actual people who are accusing him. So right now we're only getting one side to the story. Period.
Yeah, you're not getting all the facts. Well, let's get it all out. Where's the court? We have courts that'll arrest or try shit that makes nothing
Agree.
difference on nonsense.
Now, my question is, though, because it happened so long ago, does the statute of limitations work with an offense like rape? I know with murder, there's no statute of limitations. You can catch somebody 50 years down the road, right?
Right.
Now, does something like rape have statute of limitations?
I have
Can
no
they
idea.
go even arrest this guy for it?
Most I know about laws I learned off of Murder, She Wrote when I was masturbating to Angela Lambert.
Right.
That's all I know.
Right. So I mean that's something to take into effect too. Maybe I sound stupid. I don't know. Maybe I don't know what I'm talking about, but I'm pretty sure.
What about civil? A civil case, it's forever, isn't it? You can be like, listen, he might not go to jail, but you can pay me $1 billion for putting your pudding pop in my flism flasm hole.
You could sue him for current emotional distress, right? Like you can't get through life properly now.
Like
So-
you can't have an orgasm until your husband throws a punch of
a
pudding on your back.
Right. Correct.
And it's got to be in the microwave for like 32 seconds. I don't know. I don't know. I just know that it's crazy that all this shit's coming out today. And, rape is a terrible thing. I've had friends that have been assaulted, and you see the stories, and it's terrible. And the first thing, if that happens to a loved one, dude, you're getting the gun. Your emotions get the best of you.
There's no doubt about it. Like I wouldn't even think twice about it, right? Like I would be the one that would end up going to jail in the end. But
No, you wouldn't.
I couldn't be rational, right? Like I couldn't be rational thinking. If that happened to a family member of mine, I would put a bullet in their face.
You wouldn't.
I wouldn't what?
You wouldn't. We would talk it out. I'm psychotic. Everybody knows that. All my inner circle knows that I'm a fucking psychopath. I would be like, listen, we're gonna map this out, and we're gonna do it so we're clean.
Right.
And you can't just do it today. It's got to be when it's right, and
Right.
it will not be quick.
No, it wouldn't be quick.
But we have to do it right, and we have to do it when we get away with it. And it'd probably just be me. I mean, me and whoever you call in to help. If you do call in to help, that's when it gets messy. Sometimes you just got to do it and get out.
I think calling somebody in would be the mistake, right?
Exactly.
I think that, regardless of how much you trust somebody, the best kept secret is the one that's untold, period.
No, I agree. So, but yeah, somebody'd be dead. Bill Cosby would be I would have him in a vat of acid becoming a pudding pop.
Right. Right. But as they say, there's a thing called due process. At this point, it's only allegations. Now, are they true? There's a very good chance, probably so, yeah, because he was, he was accused a long time ago. Now everything's resurfacing once again. Why? Who knows? But
wait, hold on. We have a call coming in, and it looks like it's Bill Cosby himself that wants to talk about these allegations. Did you set this up?
No, maybe.
That's
maybe
odd.
Got a number. Maybe he likes the show and heard that we were talking about him.
So, Bill, is that you there? Hello, Bill. Is this Bill Cosby?
Hello, friend.
Oh, well, hello.
Hello.
Hey there, Bill.
So, all this stuff's coming to light about these accusations. Are you going to get in trouble for this?
Well, I don't think so.
Well, you should. I mean, don't you agree?
Yeah, I mean, don't you think that what you did is wrong?
I think it's wrong.
It's just ridiculous.
I don't think it's ridiculous. They got all these girls coming out of the woodwork.
They're all saying that you raped them. They're all saying about physical and sexual abuse. And I mean, what do you have to say for yourself?
Doesn't mean anything to me.
Doesn't mean anything to you.
Doesn't mean anything to me.
Wow, that's unbelievable.
That sounds kind of selfish, Bill.
I would think so. I mean, come on. You got all these people out here. I mean, what happened to the first woman? The first woman came out. What did you do to her? Was there anything that happened with the first woman? Did you take her? What'd she say, Mike? That Mr. Cosby here took her somewhere, drugged her. What really happened there? That's interesting.
Is that what really happened?
With their hippin' and the hoppin' and the bippin' and the boppin'.
I can't believe. Well, what exactly does the hippin' and the hoppin' and the bippin' and the boppin' mean? I mean, what? Yeah, I understand that. I mean, but did that mean you hit that? You didn't hit that? Did you drug her?
I mean, did she say yes? Did she say no? Did she invite you in? Did she try to stop you? I don't understand what you're saying, Bill.
I don't understand it.
Be comfortable.
Be comfortable where?
Did Rudy tell you about that machine in the basement?
No, Rudy didn't tell us about the machine in the basement. What the hell is that?
I can't put my hand on it.
Well,
Well, that's the point here, right? You can't put your hand on it, but you did anyway.
Doesn't mean anything to me.
well, it should. I mean, come on. I mean, what's going on there? Yeah, I guess it's funny to you. It ain't funny to two guys like us.
Lips and a body so firm.
Well, I know she had lips and a body so firm, but she was like 6 on that show. I mean, how old was she there, Mike? Do you know?
No, I mean, she had to be 6, 7, 8, maybe, tops.
All right.
Yeah, all right. Don't get too excited.
Yeah, come on, Bill.
Jesus.
Can we laugh?
Not at rape? Do you want to tell us what really happened there?
And come back here in an hour?
No, we're going to talk to you right now. We're not going to come back in an hour. What happened there?
Don't you know?
No, I don't know. I don't know. Do you know, Mike?
I don't know, Bill. That's why we're asking you.
Jesus.
Here I go down the slope.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm going zip zop zooming bop.
I think the career is going down the slope. So, well, his press agent here is telling us they don't want us to talk about rape no more. They want us to... Wait, what is that, Bill?
And we also used to play a buck.
Well, what the hell is a buck?
Buck.
What the fuck is that?
When I was a little boy, we would play stickball.
Yeah, but stickball today means something totally different from what these girls are saying. Exactly. I mean, how did you get them in the car? How did you get them alone?
What do you think candy is made out of?
Well, obviously something that you're drugging them. I mean, did you take them in the back? Did you let them watch cartoons, maybe Pokemon?
Boogeyman was the pokey and the man in the thing where the guy comes out of the thing and he makes the fall out of that.
This is going nowhere.
This is a mess.
This is a disaster.
It really is.
Well, you know that, is it true that you're a big jazz fan? You know, my oldest son's middle name is Jazz.
This one is a great jazz musician.
Yeah, I mean, I know that you like jazz. I know that jazz is a big part of your life. You're not a big jazz fan, are you, Mike?
I can't say yes or no because I've never really listened to it. But now that Bill Cosby is, I'm not sure if I will be.
So jazz is good, huh?
No, actually, jazz is like the new Coke.
Really?
Jazz is like Jello pudding.
And you like to fill little girls with Jello pudding.
Here I go down the slope. Oh, I'm going zip zop zooming the bop.
We'll just take that as a yes, Bill.
We're going to take that all as a yes. And just like you had this uncle named, if you remember back, I think even your uncle, I'm going to say his name was Stewie or something.
I had an uncle named Stewie, and he used to sell bicycles.
Is that how you got the people in there? You helped Stewie to help get little girls bicycles, or
Stewie.
Yeah, Stewie. Exactly. I don't know if we're going to get a solid answer out of here. Obviously, there's something wrong with Bill Cosby.
The kids, they listen to the rap music, which gives them the brain damage.
I think what gives them brain damage is when you're popping your Jello pudding pop right off their forehead and they're 6 years old.
It's just ridiculous.
I agree.
Yeah, that's a good point, Bill. Do you have anything to say for yourself?
You stink! Junior Bob, you gun! Come back here!
Okay.
Then you must not be too much of a friend.
Well, we're not your friends. We're just asking you questions here.
Okay.
We just want to know.
You see now? Okay. It's just ridiculous. Yeah. It's just something missing.
Yeah, there's something missing, like the facts. Did you or did you not bang these girls?
Well, I don't think so.
But everybody else thinks so. I think so, but I'm not legal law enforcement. Mike, I'm guessing thinks so.
I think so, but I am by no shape, I am by no way imagination judge, jury, or, but by the sounds of things, Bill, and by the sounds of the questions that you're avoiding with your Jello pudding pop humor, I'd say that you're guilty.
Yeah.
So there you have it. There you have it. Bill Cosby.
Billie Holiday.
No, Billy Cosby.
Billie Holiday.
No, Bill Cosby.
Bill Cosby.
Exactly.
Bill Cosby.
Anyway, so we think that you're guilty, but I want to thank you for coming on.
It'll be around forever.
I don't think you'll be legally outside of jail cell forever.
No, I mean, I think this time next year, he might just be in a cell.
I think so.
What do you like to play?
I like to put Bill Cosby behind bars.
Yeah, and then he's gonna be playing with flesh color pudding pops.
Right. Maybe they'll treat you like Juice on Sons of Anarchy.
Right.
Anyway, I want to thank you for coming on. Is there anything else you'd like to say to Mike or myself? And there you go.
And there you go.
Kids, listen to the rap music. Kids, listen to the rap music. What do you like to play?
Pokemon.
Pokemon. Pokemon. Pokemon. Pokemon. What do you like to play?
Pokemon.
Pokemon. Pokemon. Pokemon. You see?
That's filthy.
That is filthy.
It's absolutely filthy. Well, thank you, Mr. Cosby, for coming up and trying to clear some of that up, but rape's not funny. Let's see what happens with the allegations against Mr. Cosby.
Yeah, I mean, only time will tell, yeah?
I need a shower before I talk about Thanksgiving.
Yeah, I know. I feel dirty.
Give me a second. I'm going to stand up and shake it off.
I'm not the only one. No, 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 no. I'm not the only one. My favorite inside source. I'll kiss your open sores. Thank you. Appreciate your concern. You always stink and burn. Rape me. Rape me, my friend.
All right, it's time to talk about Thanksgiving. Shake that off.
From rape to Thanksgiving.
From rape to Thanksgiving. I used to say the older the turkey, the sweeter the gravy. And I love to bring the stuffing to the old folks' home and just fuck old women.
Yeah?
But that was before I got married and stuff. So.
What are you going to do?
We're going to talk about what Thanksgiving means to us. I have to shake it off and get back. The train is completely derailed and flipped over this week. But we have some. This is actually true facts. Trying to get the train back in order about Thanksgiving.
Since 1934, the Detroit Lions have always played on Thanksgiving, but the very first Thanksgiving game was played in 1876 and pitted rivals Yale and Princeton. While it may be the most watched parade, the Macy Thanksgiving Day Parade is actually the second oldest Thanksgiving Day parade. More than 3 million people attend in person, while another 44 million watch it on TV at home. The oldest, however, was the Gimbel's Thanksgiving Day Parade. Did you know the average person travels 214 miles just to do their part in helping other Americans consume over 530 million pounds of turkey on Thanksgiving? Thomas Jefferson thought it was the most ridiculous idea ever conceived to make Thanksgiving a federal holiday. Some claim that Benjamin Franklin named the male turkey Tom just to spite our third president. One thing is a fact that busy parents nationwide can be grateful for TV dinners. The first frozen TV dinner consisted of turkey, cornbread stuffing, peas, and sweet potatoes because of a huge surplus of frozen turkeys due to poor Thanksgiving sales. Now,
there you go. Some Thanksgiving facts. I'm not a big fan of Thanksgiving.
Yeah, I'm on board with why did they make it a federal holiday?
It's ridiculous.
Not a fan of it. I'm
a fan of the 4 days off in a row.
I'm like, there's a lot of people that have to go back Friday. On the other hand, I'm lucky to have both. I have both Thursday and Friday off.
Yeah, no. I got both off. Well, most places have both off, but if you have to work on Friday, trash.
Yeah, but I mean, it's just
trash.
It's good for a day off, but I never really got Thanksgiving, right? It's just if I'm asked to go somewhere, I go.
I don't.
And like I hang out with family, which is great, but in the long runs, I've never really been a big fan of it.
I don't go. I don't nothing. Usually I have a bottle of wild turkey, which I wash down my turkey sub from Blimpie's.
Right.
That's pretty much it. Or like a Vito's turkey sub here in Hoboken. I don't like turkey.
Turkey's okay, but it's not
terrible.
Amazing. It's definitely not my favorite meat.
Terrible. I don't like any kind of meat that's carved. Isn't that strange? That's a very strange quirk that I have. I don't like any carved meat. Like when you carve a ham, I'd retch.
I don't like ham personally.
I like ham salad.
Carved ham.
Ham salad's delicious, but that's because it's the mayo and pickles in the goddamn thing.
Right.
But like carved turkey, carved chicken, carved roast beef, to me, just no. No. Now, I don't mind the stuffing.
Stuffing is great.
Stuffing's delicious.
Yeah, delicious. I could, if you actually look at my plate on a Thanksgiving, it's like a little bit of mashed potatoes, a little bit of turkey, and a humongous pile of stuffing. But for some reason, stuffing's always the thing that's made the least of, right? There's always like less stuffing than any other food.
You got to make 8 times whatever pound the turkey is, multiply it by 3. That's what the stuffing pound should be.
Right. I mean, you see, for some reason, there's always like turkey and mashed potatoes and rolls and everything else left over for days, but the stuffing's always gone the day of Thanksgiving.
I know people, they stuff it in the bird and make it, but you can also put it in like a big fucking pan and bake that shit too.
Right. It's not difficult. I mean, you can either make it homemade or go buy like 6 boxes of stovetop. You know what I mean? But always make sure there's extra stuffing. I never understood why stuffing is the least made thing at Thanksgiving.
It's got to be moist too. Can't eat in the rain. Can't be dry.
Right. It can't be like eating croutons. If I wanted croutons, I'd order a fucking salad, right?
Exactly.
I want a good,
moist,
soft stuffing.
Soft, gooey stuffing.
Right. I want 6 spoonfuls of stuffing.
Agreed. And my plate would have a whole shitload of stuffing. I love the green bean casserole. With the onions on it. You know, the crispy onions and like the cream of mushroom soup.
I don't like it. I don't like green beans. My wife loves it, but I don't like it. I don't like green beans or casserole or anything that has to do with it.
I do. I love that. I don't mind the yams, although I'll have like maybe one tiny piece. I'm not a big fan of that, but I would eat that before I eat the turkey.
Right. I don't like cranberry sauce.
I don't either. My wife loves that shit.
Yeah, I don't like it, man. It's
it's disgusting. It's like the shape of a fucking jar. Even if you get it like fresh, it's still like foul.
Right.
It's just like fucking. There's something really wrong. No matter how much you drink on Thanksgiving, I just still can't get it down. It's like it's just like some kind of gelatinous snot.
Right, and like if you do buy it in the can, like you can still see like the lines and the
it's foul.
Like, come on, man. Like, I don't want that garbage. Give me some more stuffing.
It's like wiggle in there, like the fucking like a 40s horror movie.
It is. It's terrible.
Is that thing gonna eat me? What the fuck is that?
It's awful.
Is that Jello? Is Bill Cosby coming to dinner? Is he bringing the stuffing?
Yeah, I mean, like even turkey, like I like dark meat better than white meat because the white meat's so damn dry.
I don't think Bill Cosby cares what color the meat is.
No, as long as it's a Jello pudding pop.
As long as he's bringing the stuffing.
Yep, the stuffing and tons of it.
No, I agree. I don't care. I don't like turkey, so I'm not going to eat it. A lot of times, like the few times I've done Thanksgiving dinner, the people that were hosting it were nice enough to make me like a lamb. Like I like leg of lamb or pork loin on Thanksgiving. Nothing wrong with pork loin.
No.
Little pork loin, sauerkraut. I went to a diner on Thanksgiving about 6-7 years ago. It was the best Thanksgiving dinner I've had in probably 20 years.
Nice. Yeah, growing up, my mom or like my grandmother or my aunts, like they would bring over like a lasagna, right? Like lasagna and stuffed shells along with the turkey and things like that. And I mean, I'd pick out on that. I mean, I'd have a little piece of turkey, but
yeah.
I'd
have no turkey.
Just is what it is, and just like the holiday itself. Like I'm not like a crazy liberal or anything, but like the celebration of Thanksgiving is always kind of confusing to me, anyways. I mean, it was a fucking massacre, right?
Heads are flying off.
Massacre. Like it's just a bunch of Indians got raped and killed. And like, hey, I mean, they were basically forced to sit down and have that dinner with them, right? Because if they did it, they were just going to kill them off. So like, I never really got the whole idea behind Thanksgiving and why we celebrate it, right?
I didn't get it either.
It's, hey, we raped and killed all your ancestors, but we're going to celebrate the day as the day we broke cornbread together.
It's kind of like the greatest conspiracy ever.
It really is like one of the greatest conspiracies ever. It's like the greatest cover-up of human history.
Wow. It's kind of like Columbus Day.
They
should put them all together.
Yeah. Columbus Day's the same way. It is what it is. But
listen,
I mean,
it's 2 days off. There's a lot of football. There's a couple football games on there. My favorite turkey is wild turkey.
Right. Like I watch football. I eat food.
Oh, I get a fifth of wild turkey.
Yeah.
I get tanked.
Yeah. I mean, that's what it's for now, right? I think it's more of just a commercial thing than anything now. It's more of just a family and a commercial holiday. I don't know too many people that cheers to the Pilgrims at dinner.
I do.
I
wish I was banging Pocahontas.
Well,
I'll drink to that. I'll drink to that. Raping Pocahontas.
I think that they were raping Pocahontas.
Yeah, but back then it was probably like breathing.
It's true.
It just comes with territory.
No, it's true. It was a different mindset back then and different people.
Like tobacco and rape were allowed to be advertised.
Right.
We can't even advertise cigarettes, or you can't drink a beer on TV. Back then, you could drink a beer and smoke a cigarette while you're raping Pocahontas.
That's true. It's very true.
Nothing wrong with that. You got your little piece of parchment paper with the article, like Jane Doe got married to John Smith, and in the bottom it says, you want to rape come over to this elm tree and carve your initials in it, and you too can rape a fucking Indian. Smoke screen. What if they had a smoke screen for come rape? Be awesome. Like you're watching that, we're sitting there passing a pipe around like a fire outside. We're eating some kind of fucking opossum. And we're like, dude, you see that smoke over there? Does that say come rape?
Smoke signal.
I say, I'm a little horny. You want to go fucking rape? I'm in.
That's awful.
Does that say young Indian girls, wet and wild? I'm in, bro. Are you in?
Yeah.
Go get my hat and get my good buckle.
And back then, I don't even think that they had money. They just traded things, right? Or they had shekels.
I wouldn't trade nothing. You just take. We're the white men back then. I would kill a sheep, take its intestine, wrap it around my dick, and go over there and do my business.
It's true.
Be wonderful. Anyway, so
I've changed 500 years, my friend.
Times have changed for the worse.
Yeah, for the worse.
It would have been a lot easier Thanksgiving for me if we're waiting around for smoke signals, smoking some hash.
To go hang out with Pocahontas in a violent manner.
13-year-old Indian girl's waiting for you. I'm like, bro, put your buckle on. Put on your good boots.
It's awful.
It's party time. Let them show you the. Here, let me show you my Plymouth Rock. But anyway, yeah, you were right. Back in the day when everybody was healthy and the family was together and alive, we would go to my grandmother's house and she'd make the You have the lasagna. She'd make the turkey, but she'd also make turkey soup with the neck. And you had all this food before the food came out: kielbasa and sauerkraut, anything to eat all day long. And then by the time the turkey came out, you're like, oh no, I can't handle this. This is too much. Right. And then at the end of the day, my favorite part in our fat Irish Catholic Thanksgiving is at like 9, 10 o'clock when all the dudes, all the fathers were hammered for that last football game. They would come out and take rye bread. They would butter 2 pieces of rye bread. Just go with me here. And you know how the stuffing would get hard at that point in the refrigerator and cold?
Yeah.
They would slice it into like an inch thick slice, lay that on one of the pieces of bread, and then slather it with mayonnaise and eat it on a butter sandwich.
Yeah, stuffing sandwiches.
Delicious.
They are delicious.
Maybe throw a slice of Swiss on there, and you got a party.
For sure. They're very good.
Awesome.
Yes.
To me, I miss that.
Yeah.
Am I making a turkey and stuffing to get that? No.
No. But if it's there.
No. I'm not. It's not, because I'm not leaving my house. I mean, I told the wife, listen, go out and get like a chicken. The kids can eat some chicken, make them some stuffing and some mashed potatoes, and I'm going to have a turkey sandwich.
Yeah.
And a bottle of wild turkey. Although this year we're going to go to the parade. You believe this shit? As of today, this might change, but as of today, I have, Kiss is headlining the parade.
You're going to like D Parade in NYC?
Yeah. The wife wants to go. Kiss is headlining, and I have a friend of a friend who is one of the guys that's in the mayor's office and is one of the people that helps put on the parade. And they have, where the parade starts, right next to Tavern on the Green, they have a roped-off VIP area by ticket only, where you stand right there and you get to see the first people that see the acts before it goes down the street.
Right.
And you watch, and then once the last act is done, we're the first people out of Dodge.
Well, that's not so bad then.
You got a private bathroom.
But it's still going to be brutal getting in and out of the city, though.
No, it won't be that big. Remember, I live right here, so.
Oh, yeah, it's true. That's true. And you don't drive.
No,
so.
I just hop on the bus. I mean, we'll be there in 10 minutes.
Right.
And
That's
like,
fair enough.
It's like 10-minute drive on the bus, 10-minute walk, and we'll be where all the people are having hors d'oeuvres and cocoa, and then we'll go outside when the parade starts, go back inside. If they have to go to the bathrooms are there, and then we'll go back home, and I'll drink my wild turkey.
It doesn't sound like a bad day.
Right. And the more I think about it, it's okay. Now, I might still back out. You know me. I'm flaky with that stuff. I don't like any of that shit. I'd rather just watch it on TV. But, it'll make the family happy, and I'm all in. We'll see how it goes. See how everybody's feeling, but that's the plan for today. You got any plans for Thanksgiving?
Yeah. We're actually just going, we're going down to my wife's dad's house, and that's it.
Okay.
I think my wife is actually one of the ones that has to work the day after. I think she has to work Friday. So it's just going to be like a one-day affair, right? We're going to go down in the morning or maybe early afternoon and come back whenever, right? That same night. And that's it.
Val.
Nothing big, right? She has to work the next day, and I don't. So, I don't know.
No,
there's not much going on.
Shoulder dip.
What's that?
Then you can shoulder dip.
Yeah. Yeah, which is what's going to happen.
Because you'll have football games on. You got to watch the football game and shoulder dip a little.
Oh, for sure.
Right. Well, do you have any good memories of any Thanksgiving's past, or no Thanksgiving's trash?
No, Thanksgiving's trash.
It is. It's just such trash. I don't get it. I have family members that are like, oh, I got to do this, I got to do that. You're out of your fucking minds.
Like when I was younger and single, like in the military and stuff, like I didn't even celebrate it, right? Things were closed, so on Wednesdays we had to go buy everything that we needed for Thursday, but we just used it as a day off. We didn't do anything. The bases never did anything special for Thanksgiving or anything. Like I think at the Chow Hall they served turkey and potatoes, but they also served that 12 other times a year. So like it was nothing special. I never really celebrated it outside of being young in a family and being older now and married with family. That's it.
Yeah, if I wasn't married with kids, I would celebrate that with. I'd probably get a cheeseburger, sit in a bar, just sipping double makers.
100%. I'd get a pizza delivered, right? Or I'd go somewhere.
I'd go to a bar, but I would go to a bar and just
ball game on, right?
Yeah, just watch the ball game and just have beers and shots of SoCo.
And that's it. And that's what I would do. I never really celebrated. I don't really have any memorable Thanksgivings.
Thanksgiving's overrated. Thanksgiving's overrated. But if you're into that shit, you're probably into fucking all the holidays, and you're a retard. I don't know why you're listening to us anyway. I can't handle that shit. Anyway, so Thanksgiving, I hope it's joyous for you. Whatever you're thankful for, great. Enjoy. Now it's time to move on. Crazy news and things that are wrong with the world today, and I can tell you some things that I'm not thankful for.
What is wrong with the world today? What's wrong with the world today?
You know what's wrong with the world today? The Ugandan giant has no legs.
I didn't know that until I saw that article. It's terrible.
How does he have no legs?
Kamala has no legs.
Not to be confused with Kamal from Kajagoogoo. Hey, Mike. Come a little closer. Oh, that was the gayest thing I've ever played. Okay, so the Ugandan giant. You know what I didn't like about the Ugandan giant?
What's that?
People that don't know, he was like one of those iconic wrestlers back when we were kids. But they made him seem, it was so racist. Do you remember? Because if you hear the Ugandan giant, he's not dumb. It's all act, but looking back now, I don't know how this flies. Here's a little clip of the Ugandan giant being interviewed.
As a legend, it is an honor for me to have the Ugandan giant, Kamala. Okay, Kamala, tonight you're going against Jerry the King Lawler. What do you think going in the ring? You guys have legendary battles for the last 10 years. You and the King in Memphis, all over the world. What do you think about going against Jerry the King Lawler tonight?
I know it's going to be a tough match, and
what is happening here? And that's it. He just starts slapping his stomach, looking at some blonde chick. Terrible. It's terrible, dude. It's absolutely terrible.
It's awful.
Fucking awful. But I didn't read it. Let me read the article. You'd think I'd read it. All I heard was he had double amputee, and I sat there just speechless. So in the 80s, obviously we all know who he was. He was a huge WWF star. Double amputee struggling to make ends meet. Guys, he's 6'7". Well,
he's huge.
What is he now? 4'1"? Now that he has legs taken off? It's terrible. What's wrong with you? His real name is James Harris.
Yeah.
And he lost both of his legs due to diabetes. That was going to be my guess.
Yeah.
Doesn't want anybody to feel sorry for me because I'm still Kamala. I don't see you going off the top rope with no legs.
No, definitely not.
It's got a GoFundMe page.
I saw.
He's in the hospital. His blood sugar dropped. Dude, this guy's a fucking disaster. How old is he now? I don't see his age.
He's raised almost $20,000.
Yeah, what's that going to get? He's not going to get his legs back. He's going to get magic legs.
He's going to pay his bills.
Magic legs. Dude, you need like fucking pylons holding up a bridge. That's a big dude.
That's a really big dude.
That's like the Verrazano walking at you.
Wow, he's raised $19,214 in 9 days.
Wow, in 9 days.
9 days. His goal is $25,000.
Oh, good for him.
Yep.
There's a video here. I'm not playing it, but there's a video if you want to look it up. Kamala, the rise and fall of the Ugandan giant.
I saw it. I'm looking at the.
I can't handle it.
No, well, and the thing is, it's like 8 minutes long.
Oh, I didn't even look at it. I don't even care if it was 8 seconds. I'm not listening. It's unbelievable.
So awful.
Anyway, you had a news story you want to share?
Yeah, I can actually play this clip. So this is the story that I have for today.
Oh, good.
Now caught in the act, a Eugene couple pays for the price for reportedly getting intimate in public.
As K-Bal's Lisa Nico reports, you might be surprised at where police caught them. Lisa?
Well, guys, picture this. It's a crisp Sunday evening. You're going through it for a drive-through downtown Springfield. Then you peer into the window of a car parked beside you at a stop sign and find a couple nude and in an intimate embrace. No. That's the kind of shock Springfield police say onlookers at the corner of 4th and A Street were in for over the weekend.
Apparently it ended soon after they knocked on the window. They were very cooperative, yes.
Sergeant Charbonneau says it all happened Sunday night. 24-year-old Kelly Knutson was with her boyfriend, 33-year-old Logan Jackson, right here at the Brick House Strip Club. Before 5:45, they left the strip club, walked across the street to their parked car, and started having sex. They were, quote, too caught up in the moment to realize their activities had caused quite the traffic jam right here in front of the Springfield jail.
The main thing is to make sure that the woman is not being taken advantage of, or the male, I guess. But
Sergeant Charbonneau says it was because of the spectacle that officers broke up the activity and made the arrest.
we normally tell them to go someplace that's a little safer than a parking lot or wherever we might find them. In this case, we had traffic being slowed down. We had someone complaining about it, and so we had to take action.
Even if you're caught up in the moment, you can step back, take a breather, be like, this is not the place for this. It needs to be.
Knutson was taken to the Lane County.
There you go.
Yeah, interesting. We've had this conversation before. I don't understand why you can't just go to a red roof.
Well, in this case, just go home.
Right, or just go home. Or just have about some head while you're driving.
Right. Like they're in their hometown. Obviously, they're at a strip club, and they leave a strip club. It's.
Are you both that horny that you got to dip it right there?
Right. I'm assuming the town's not very big, so it doesn't take them very long to get home. Go home.
Even if it takes you a half hour.
Right.
Don't you want to clean that shit up, too? You know, there's like it's not the freshest down there.
Especially if you're out all day and night.
You got to have some sort of swamp penis.
Right, for sure.
You got to have some aroma, maybe a little ammonia, a little residue, unless they like that, pheromones.
Yeah.
But it's just filthy.
But go home, right?
Go home.
Go home. Find a hotel. I don't understand why right there.
Go to the alley.
Right.
Why out in public?
Right. Maybe they thought it was because it was so late in the morning.
I don't know. Fucking retards. The only thing that makes me crazy about that it was Eugene, Oregon, and not somewhere like Jacksonville, Florida.
Right. When I first saw the title of the article, I thought that I was going to read something that happened in Florida.
Okay. Well, moving on. That's a fucking... we always have to have one sex story in there, don't we?
Always.
So, giraffe smuggler wanted by international police. I don't know if you saw this.
I did not.
Have you seen the man who loaded 5 live giraffes into a Tanzanian military plane for delivery to Qatar?
No.
Well, if you have, Interpol would like to talk to you. The International Police Agency, Interpol, has now a most wanted campaign of a suspect who carried out such environmental crimes such as wildlife trafficking, illegal fishing, illegal logging, and trading in ivory. But this guy, Ioannis Kokinis. It sounds like something that Bill Cosby would say, wouldn't it? Ioannis Kokinis. Oh, he's wanted. He's wanted for smuggling giraffes. Here's a question. I had trouble with a fucking butane lighter. This guy's got 5 full-grown fucking giraffes going onto a plane.
Yeah.
What am I doing wrong? I had a fleshlight and a butane lighter and like a nip confiscated, like a half pint, because it was more than 3 ounces. This guy's got 5 fucking live giraffes that are like 20 feet tall onto a goddamn military plane, and no one's saying anything. Where is he going through security? Where's TSA there?
I agree 100%.
I'm getting a cavity check in Miami Airport, and this guy's just wheeling in like fucking Noah's Ark.
Like 5 giraffes.
Right. Ivory says he had cheetahs. He had cheetahs at one point. I mean, what is happening here?
Sir, you with the lighter, you're not allowed on the plane. Sir, the one with the 5 giraffes, you can go ahead.
Another guy they had, it says here, another guy, like one of his accomplices, had 314 pieces of ivory that weighed 2 tons, and he smuggled it. 2 tons of ivory.
That's insanity.
I got stopped and checked 3 times because I had a bar of ivory soap in my bag, and I forgot. I don't understand that at all.
No, not at all.
Oh, my God. It says here, Interpol and the UN Environmental Program they found the illegal timber industry is worth an estimated $70 to $213 billion a year of people that bring in rhino and are killing elephants and ivory, that are killing elephants and rhinos in escalating environmental crime wave.
Someone's getting paid off, right? It's got to be. When you're bringing that kind of weight on a plane.
I will tell you, I ship things as part of my job for a living. And
Right.
we ship some things that are kind of like, what the fuck? Because custom agents all over the world are criminals.
Right.
I've had... And people don't realize that stuff is worth more money in other countries. We ship a lot of stuff. We have an office in Sao Paulo, Brazil. And the office manager in our Sao Paulo office flies to Miami, Florida, and buys like iPads and iPods and stuff and puts them on her person to fly back. So what she'll do is she'll take them out of the packaging, pretend it's hers, put it into the little bin that goes through the screening. And then when she comes out on the other side, she puts it back in a box and sells it for like 10 times what it's worth. And it makes money. Flying to Miami, buying some electronics and flying back would make her a couple grand. It's a scam. I don't know if you know this. So we bought headphones for our office. And the office down there, and the headphones cost us $3,500, and they had a street value down in Sao Paulo of $12,000. So the custom agent in Sao Paulo says, "What the fuck is this?" I said, "Listen, it's going from it's the same company. It's going from one to another. We shouldn't have to pay much more tax on it. This is the value. We'll pay the value tax to the government of Brazil on $3,500." And they said, "No, we don't believe it's going to the same company. They're now owned by Brazil." And they took them.
What?
And you can't argue because it's the country. You can't argue it. So
someone's stealing that shit.
Yeah, they'll tell you to your face, this is now ours. We had the same thing with, we had a problem in Beijing where they kept taking our laptops. And they were like, "No, we don't think it's really going to your office here in Beijing. I think you're trying to smuggle them into our country." Meanwhile, when I tried to call the shipper, and I said, "Where are the fucking laptops?" And they said, "You probably got some kids playing World of Warcraft on those now. They're gone. Just make a claim. You know, the government sees them."
Right.
We go through this every day. It's unbelievable. I can't. I could go and do a whole show on the shit that's been seized. So to get stuff through to Sao Paulo, because Sao Paulo is so corrupt. I mean, we've had a kidnapping there. We've had 3 shootings on the front of the street. I might have talked about this before, but like gangs will pull up, and they put like 2 people on like a scooter, and they'll pull up, and the guy in the back will have a gun, and they'll put the gun, and whatever you have in the car, you got to push out the window. Well, we had a problem. We had a car out front of our building. One gang pulled the scooter up on one side, one on the other, and they shot at themselves over the car, both trying to rob the car at 5 o'clock at night.
God.
Sao Paulo's full of crime. And people that tell you otherwise are out of their mind. But
right.
It's just the savages down there. But bottom line is that I had to pay, just like to get this through, I paid somebody off. I shipped the new shipment to Rio and paid savages in Rio to put it in a van and drive it to Sao Paulo to get around the custom agents of Sao Paulo. And that's how I ship stuff there now.
Unreal.
Stuff of value. And I pay somebody. I pay somebody on the ground a premium, but not nowhere near the custom charge or to pay the guys off at Sao Paulo. They want a fortune.
Right.
And I refuse to pay. We can't be paying everybody, but everybody wants to get greased. And people are like, the United States government is so corrupt. And look, our government, listen, yes, but compared to governments around the world, you're out of your fucking mind.
Correct. You're right.
You're
Agree.
out
100%.
of your mind.
Right. Right. You can't tell me that the government of the United States of America is as corrupt as like Honduras and Brazil.
No way.
And Cuba and China and all these other places. You can't tell me that because I'm going to call you a fucking idiot.
You're a moron.
Right.
You're a moron. And we pay more money in trying to get shit through. It's unbelievable. And you should see the shit, how to get something to an embargoed country. It's hysterical.
That's crazy. I didn't know.
Serving somebody in Tehran or Chad, which we just had to do, it's hysterical because you can only fly it to a certain point. Then you got to hire, like,
the ground transport.
Mahmoud's, camel. I mean, literally, it was a guy in a camel named Mahmoud, and he, in the way the law is there, you give it to him, and he's allowed to go into the next sector, which might only be 10 feet away, but you're paying him like $800 to get this fucking package through. So you're sending the DHL agent or whoever's going to be able. They're the only agent that can go into an embargoed country. So they go into the embargoed country, and then even there's certain parts of that country they can't go in. So they hire somebody, and we got to pay it, and they add it on as a line item. But they're telling us off the record, this is what we're doing. We're giving it to Mahmoud and his camel, and he's going to go in there and he's going to show his papers and get through the guys and sneak this in. It's unbelievable. This happens in today's day and age. It's crazy.
Hey, really? Like I don't have much to say. Like I'm blown away.
Yeah, that's a whole different. We can have a whole different show. But what even makes me more blown away is I'm getting stopped with my butane Bic lighter, and this guy is smuggling 5 full giraffes and 2 tons of ivory onto a fucking military plane.
Right.
Somebody's getting paid.
For sure. For sure.
A lot of money to look the other way because you got to look the other way for about a half hour to get this shit on the plane, and then you got to put earplugs in and blare music so you don't hear them wailing in the back looking for leaves.
Right.
Like we're hungry. I got a 9-foot tongue, then there's no leaves. What kind of
like
horseshit is it?
Like physics doesn't allow you to sneak 5 giraffes on a plane.
No,
it can't happen.
It can't happen.
It can't. You can't hide that. You can't sneak giraffes on a plane.
I wonder what a giraffe says when he's like, "I don't want your fucking peanuts or the tapas box. Where are the leaves?" If I was a giraffe, I'd be like, "Tapas box, not interested." You got some leaves?
Right.
You got like a 30-foot tree I can gnaw on? Thanks. Maybe I'll hit that. Let's join the Mile High Club, Jenna.
Giraffe's a fucked up animal, man.
Giraffes are awesome. They got that fucking head. They look at you like you got 20 heads.
I know. They're awesome.
They're like,
They're
what is that, a tapas box? You out of your fucking mind? I need to wrap my 4-foot tongue around some leaves, bro. And just leave me alone. You know, they always look stoned.
Oh, yeah, they do.
They always look like they're high. Like they're eating something with some sort of THC in it.
Yep.
It's like, wow, we got the cannabis tree. Maybe some leaves we don't even know that are up on high trees that got cannabis in it.
Giraffes are awesome.
Giraffes are amazing. I love giraffes. Anyway, is there a skull on Mars?
I don't know, man. I'm looking at the picture, and I mean, it looks like one, yeah.
Although a photo was taken several years ago by a camera on Spirit rover, the photo above, there's a photo here, is from NASA. People are saying that it's a skull, and NASA's saying, man, I think it's just another rock.
Right.
I'd be thinking, shit, if that was a skull, that's fucking crazy.
That would be crazy. And, I mean, to me, first glance, it looks like a skull, right? It looks like that there's a skull on Mars. But do you realize how many rocks are on
like
Mars?
skulls? Yeah.
And do you realize the probability of one somewhat resembling a skull? I'm sure it's pretty high.
But I think if you can find a skull, I mean, you've already found that water has been on Mars.
Right.
There might have been humans. And you have people, if you go and if you blaze one night and you go and look at different websites, one of the websites they list here, the UFO Sightings Daily, and they'll think that we were originally on Mars, flew here, and then we had to start over again. Like
right.
There was a handful of us that made it and restarted from ground zero again.
Right. Because we used all its natural resources. We dried up the planet, basically.
Right, but something happened where we didn't get enough ships through, and only one or two or whatever landed, and we had to start from scratch.
Right.
And there was people here, and it's a whole conspiracy. There's some crazy stuff, and you got to be really high to buy into it. But it makes you start wondering, well, shit, could they be right?
Yeah, and you know, I mean, I've heard some pretty off the wall theories and whatnot, but I think the fact that just life alone on other planets, I think if you don't believe it, I think you're silly and I think you're naive. And I'll tell you why. Because I was watching the show. I can't think of the name of the show, but it was a Brad Meltzer show. It was a Brad Meltzer decoded show, and they were like covering UFOs and Roswell and things like that. And they said that there are so many planets and galaxies, right? There's billions of planets. It's infinite. They said that even if the odds were 1 in a trillion, that
right,
1 in a trillion planets that aliens exist, that would mean that 12 planets in every galaxy would have aliens on it. That's how big space is, and that's how good a chance that there are.
Wow.
That there is life on other planets. 1 in a trillion means 12 planets in every galaxy has life on it.
That's insane. I never heard that before.
Insane. That's an insane number. And do you realize how big a trillion is, right?
I do. I mean, I'm drunk, but I do.
A trillion is what? It's 100 billions. Or
it's a big number.
It's crazy. Or like a million trillions. I forget. Or a million billions. I forget how it is. But anyways, it's a lot of fucking planets. And
to me, there's got to be something out there. But I'd love to know if we were out there somewhere and came here. To me, that would be just full circle amazing.
I don't think it's ever going to happen, though. I mean,
not in our lifetime, probably, but maybe.
Yeah, maybe someday.
Never say never.
I think it was Stephen Hawking that said it too. Maybe we should just leave it alone, right? Maybe we don't like what we're going to find, so we should probably just leave them alone.
Right, we're going to find
a bunch of savages that are
alien,
more advanced than what we are.
Predator.
Yeah, right, for sure. They're going to be invisible and shit, like slitting our fucking throats, right?
We want nothing to do with Predator.
Right. They're going to be like impregnating our women with just by looking at them. We don't want anything to do with an advanced species.
No, not at all.
But as far as that skull goes,
the Predator sound.
The Predator. I mean, but as far as that being a skull,
I don't know. It says here that this site claims it's 80% chance it's a real skull. It's about 15 to 20% longer than a human skull, making the creature 9 to 10 feet tall. Obviously, this would confirm that giant human beings once roamed Martian landscape. NASA says they can't confirm anymore because they lost communication with Spirit in March of 2010.
Right.
which makes you wonder too.
Right, it's like, oh fuck, that's destroy this thing, But
it's very strange. I would love to do a whole show on space and weird things that are out in space.
Oh, for sure,
it amazes me.
My mind gets blown when thinking about the universe. To be honest with you,
yeah, I love going like to a planetarium and just watching shit and things that you're like, wow, I never even thought of that before. And
right,
I love planetariums. That's the nerd in me.
Yeah, I love space, right? I love it. Like I watch shows like Ancient Aliens. I watch a lot of things about the universe. It's just, it's one of my little quirks that I have. Like, I love shows like that, right? I'm kind of addicted to them. I never turn them off.
No, there's nothing wrong with that. One of these days is when you'll eventually take my offer of coming out this way, and we'll go to the planetarium up at the Natural Museum, the Museum of Natural History.
That'd be awesome.
It's insane. The Rose Garden Planetarium, it's amazing there. I actually went there and watched the Rock show one night where they put on a whole, I don't know what it is. It's weird. It's like this whole display of just visual mindfuck while music blares, and it's Moby and Audio Slave and Radiohead, and it was just like, wow. When they did everything in the right place and all these different planets are flying by, and it was insane, dude. I was like fried.
Right.
I was like, wow, this is amazing. But one day we'll get you outside of that hick town that you live in. Anything else going on? I did say we need the Florida. We need a Florida story. We can't leave this week without a Florida story. Let me see if I can find something here. Where is this? This Florida? Here we go. Man was attempting to ordering food from a drive-in through window while on his bike. Ended up being driven in a police car straight to jail. Gabriel Harris, 33, was arrested early Sunday morning after allegedly getting into a fight with police at a Taco Bell in New Smyrna Beach, Florida. Harris and a female friend rode up to the fast food restaurant on their bikes, attempted to order a meal at the drive-thru window as it was closing. They were denied service, yada, yada, yada. Employees called 911. Cops came. They asked Harris to leave. The officer spotted a knife in his belt. He reached for it. You know what happened after that. This guy got his ass whooped.
Right.
And he was booked at Volusia County Branch Jail, charged with resisting arrest with violence, and released on $1,000 bonds. And there's his mugshot, looking like a big dopey head. The Miami Herald reports that he was also arrested for resisting an officer without violence in August and appeared happier in his mugshot back then. Fail. Love Florida. Anyway, that's all the news I got. You got anything else this week? Gonna wrap it up?
I got nothing else. We can wrap it up.
We're going to talk a little bit really quick about the band Ween. Ween has broken up. They broke up a few years ago. Now it's Aaron Friedman, one of the members of Ween. Has broken off, done solo stuff, gotten sober. And I was talking to Mike T off air that when I met my wife, they're like one of the first real dates I took her on was to see Ween at the old Tramps Club on 22nd Street in the city, and her thing was like, "What is this? What is happening here?" Because everybody's high. They had a very cult following, and I loved Ween, so I wanted to just maybe we can get him on. He just did a podcast, Aaron Friedman, some kind of small podcast. He might come on.
I'd love to.
I would love to talk to him. Yeah. Maybe I'll fire that dart.
Do it up.
Yeah, maybe like after the holidays. We got the holidays coming up. We're going to do some Christmas shows. I got my holiday party December 13th. Anybody wants to come out to that in New York City, hit us up on the contact page. Most of the people that know me in the New York City area that listen to this will probably already be there. But that'll be fun. That'll be a fun night of just massive shoulder dipping right across the Madison Garden. But if you don't know Ween, look them up. I was telling Mike that I wanted my wedding song to be Pork Roll, Egg, and Cheese by Ween, because I thought that would be amazing. What is better than pork roll, egg, and cheese? I think nothing. I might even get a pork roll, egg, and cheese tomorrow. There's nothing wrong. If you don't know pork roll, if you live outside like the Northeast, New Jersey area, you're missing out. Also known as Taylor ham. It's amazing. Grill it up, throw an egg on it, maybe a slice of cheese and a Kaiser roll, you're good to go. But you can't go see Ween or you can't go see Aaron Freeman without getting a contact eye. You got to bring at least one roach with you there. That comes with the ticket. You got to show the ticket. You got to show your weed.
For sure.
It's a disaster. You've never seen them though, huh?
I've never seen him live. It's funny that you brought him up though. I loved him. Like a good friend of mine, like a long time ago, man. We're talking in high school. Like we used to just blast them. Loved it.
Yeah, I love Ween. And they had some range too. They could sing. So
for sure.
I'm going to play a little clip to let us out here, a little pork roll and cheese, and I'll slip over to something else as we let off. But thank you everybody for listening to the show. Hit us up on our website, theothermics.com. Thanks to all my pals that pushed this too, all my pals in real life. who listen to the show, give us the good feedback, and spam it on their pages. It's much appreciative. Just tell somebody. Tell a friend. Tell your friend. Share it on Facebook. Share it on Twitter. And keep continuing to get one of your friends to listen. Keep it going. I'd love to get back on the new and newsworthy.
Yeah.
And the more listeners, the better. We had a tremendous amount of downloads last week, which was amazing to me. And just I can't appreciate it. All the people that are listening and giving me the feedback, even the guys during my normal business day. I got a call randomly. It's like, yeah, man, I saw that on your Facebook page that you do that Mike and Mike thing. So I was in my car and I gave it a listen. I peed my pants. It was one of the funniest things I listened to. When you talked about the sex stuff, was outrageous.
It's awesome.
And it's just great. Like, I love it. And I can't wait to listen next week. So I appreciate that shit all day.
Same here. Very, very, very much so. It's awesome.
Next week, we've already re-recorded next week's show. Mike will be in Pittsburgh hanging out with his buddy, going to watch the Steelers play the Saints and shoulder dipping. So we're going to have a show next week that talks about the Sons of Anarchy, where our pal Sir T. Baggins, Phil Spracio, came on the show. And we talk everything recapping last episode before we get to the final 2 episodes of Sons of Anarchy, as well as talking about bronies. And if you don't know what a brony is, you might fall out and your jaw will hit the ground. But we do a whole discussion on bronies and BronyCon and the disaster, how strange this country is with some of this shit that goes on.
Yes.
It's insane. So anyway, follow me on Twitter at Vader Loves WDW.
And mine is Mike Thorwart, MikeThorwart.
And check us out, othermikes.com. Like the Facebook page, tell somebody. And until next week, I'm Mike T.
You are Mike W. and I am Mike T.
Oh, my God, I am drinking. Holy shit, I am not Mike T. I am Mike W. And that is Mike T.
And I am Mike T.
Wow, and we are the other Mikes. We'll see you in 2 weeks, but check us out next week. And give us some feedback. I'd be curious if any Sons of Anarchy fans are out there and would like to hit us up.
Yes.
Oh, my God. Happy Thanksgiving, bitches. And don't rape nobody, please.
shoulder dip.
Oh, don't hate it. Shaking that stick and jumping me crazy. Your eyes are red and hazy.
The shoulder dip, the shoulder dip.
Doing that stuff that you do. Messing me up with your voodoo.
The shoulder dips, the shoulder dips, the shoulder dip.
You drive me crazy with that boogie, oogie, 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 oogie. You drive me crazy with that boogie, boogie, boogie.
Mike. What day is it, Mike?
Spicy. Serving up red beans and rice.
Mike.
Midnight, she's a holding a stomping.
Mike.
Making love to the gators in the swamp. And
Mike.
you drive me crazy with that boogie, oogie, 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 oogie. You drive me crazy with that boogie, boogie, boogie.
Listen to me, Mike. Your self-esteem is low right now. Do you know how stupid that sounds?
Mike. What day is it, Mike?
The shoulder dip, the shoulder dip, the shoulder dip, the shoulder dip.
You slime-eating dogs, you scum-sucking pigs, you sons of a motherless goat!
Get outside me.
ATM? What about ATM?
A man's life force is in his nuts, in the base of his temple.
Just like I like my women. Black, bitter, preferably fair trade.
Anyone else turned on right now?